gorgeous. I'm the Fairy Voice Mother, and today I'm going to be reacting to Vicente Fernandez singing Volver Volver, which apparently means come here, come here. So here I come. What I know so far about Vicente is that he has a lot of swag, apparently, and just general good vibes. So we are here for those today.
Good vibes.
And in today's edition of What is Lolly in Covered in Chocolate, we have a chocolate covered peanut. When I say a chocolate covered peanut, obviously that means at least 20 so far today. My favourite ingestible item probably ever is chocolate covered Brazil nuts. I can't even go there with them, it's a very slippery slope. But chocolate covered peanuts are just the right amount of, like, I'm not obsessed with them, but they still give me like a chocolate covered nut fix, but a sustainable one, if that makes sense. It's kind of like if you smoke but you want to give up, so you vape. Okay, vamos. Ooh. Right. Bloody hell, it's loads of them! It's quite the ensemble, isn't it?
Este amor apasionado anda todo alborotado por volver. Voy camino a la locura y aunque todo me tortura,
The control! Paint those words, Vicente, yes! This passionate love.
Este amor apasionado
Is all excited. Anda todo alborotado.
por volver.
To return. Just in that line, this passionate love is excited to return. He knows that those are three separate ideas. And because he has such exceptional control over his instrument, that combined with the swag, combined with his storytelling abilities, means that he has divided this phrase into three parts. He begins here with a lifted soft palate in what I would call a yawn position, with a little bit of breath passing through the voice as well.
Este amor apasionado.
And all you have to do to find this yourself is do what I would call a noisy yawn.
Ah,
So a yawn with sound, and then try a little melody on it.
anda todo alborotado.
He lifts the larynx and makes sure the vocal cords are very closed to give the voice a full, bright resonance. And what's very interesting is he begins both of these phrases with a glottal onset, which is this snap sound. Ah, ah, ah. Este amor andado. Even though both of those two phrases go on to sound completely different, what this glottal onset has done for him, I believe, is give him a little bit of stability and control. If he had decided instead to not begin his softer passages with a glottal onset, then that could have led to what we will call an imbalance or an uncertainty or lack of regulation in what we call the subglottal pressure. So this pressure comes up from the lungs and builds up behind the vocal cords. Now, if we leave those vocal cords open, then we've got a constant breath flow coming up through the cords. So we could potentially be prone to running out of breath or making the sound too breathy, and then it would be quite hard to zip them back up and control it again. But if we instead begin the sound with an ah, you can kind of imagine how the breath would come up, and then your vocal cords and your glottis are kind of like gatekeepers, and they only allow just enough breath through them to create the sound. Ah. It was a really good idea for him to start with that vocal cord closure on every phrase, because it gives him the maximum foundation and stability to then go and express each phrase however he should see fit. The dynamics that he has access to due to the fact that he is so good at controlling the chord closure. Someone else that likes good vibes. Ready?
Nos dejamos hace tiempo, pero me llegó el momento de perder. Tú tenías mucha razón.
Beautiful.
Le hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver. perder. Quiero volver, volver, volver.
Good vibes. Oh. Oh, yes. Check it out. Wow. Yes, I love a good postural manipulation. Now, this position here has given him access to a very particular
set of conditions
in his body. This very specific act of putting the weight into the heels the way he's doing actually turns on the front of the body beautifully without the need to strain it. So you can experience this by just sitting back into your chair or standing up and leaning back. You'll notice that the front of your tummy starts to get hard. Well, the hardness level is gonna be dependent on how many chocolate Brazil nuts you consume.
On a not so regular or very regular basis.
The muscles in your body are generally designed to work all together to keep your weight as central as possible at all times. So he can rely on him just putting his weight back there and not having a care in the world because the front of his body is going to turn on to make sure that he doesn't topple over. So the second reason why this is such a brilliant tactic is because tilting back generally opens up space in the neck. Exposing this space would mean that he has more room at the front to do this whole sobby, tilty,
Wibbly wobbly vibrato thing.
For example, if he was to bring his chin down, you see how the resonance would be more trapped here as opposed to. So in conclusion, this is a genius postural move because by putting the weight in the heels, the front of the body turns on in all the right places and opens up in all the right places as well. This level position here ensures the voice doesn't slip. Volver. That could get a little bit unstable if he lets it slack and drop too far. Instead, he's decided to keep it nice and neutral so that he can focus on that lovely kind of chromatic slide down. Keeping the tonal quality balanced. Bloody hell! There's even more of them than I thought! Look at them all! Oh, magnificent! The passion for sombreros is actually deeper than I thought. There is absolutely no alternative decor in this establishment except sombreros. I mean, he's even got one bloody mic'd up there at the end. Just maybe for the acoustic value of its spirit. As if he didn't have enough human band members. All wearing sombreros, obviously. But Vicente, of course, has to have the most decorated sombrero. The crown jewels of sombreros sits only upon thy noggin.
Le hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver.
Now this is a prime example of how excellent his breath control is. He whacked himself there very bloody hard on the chest. And had he have taken any erroneous breath up into the chest, it would have really changed the sound quality. But no, all of his breath is very safely down here where it should be. So he's able to keep this chest like a cavity. It's just space. All of the breath party is happening from the rib cage and below. Notice how specifically when he says the word mero, dying, it's extremely sobby. He's maximised that forward tilt sob vocal quality to make sure that we do sincerely believe that he is indeed dying to return. He's performing this so expressively with such acute detail to things such as larynx tilt and dynamics and stuff. I am pretty convinced that he's had classical training because this is how you would express yourself if you were performing an opera. Because there's not been any kind of contemporary deviations.
It's all in this tilted position with the same kind of vibrato.
You don't need to do any really crazy extreme vocal techniques to maximise expression.
y
Off it comes!
volver, volver.
Wow.
Brazos otra vez, llegaré hasta donde estés. Yo sé perder, quiero volver, volver, volver.
What a joyful soul! Oh my gosh. What a lovely set of teeth. Goodness me, he nearly blinded me. Not only was that smile just like the most joyous, beautiful, bright, welcoming thing ever from a visual perspective, it also did wonders for keeping his larynx nice and held and getting him out of the longer vowel shape that he needed for vol. To make sure those two drastically different vowels resonate in their proper places, he knows that he needs to give them the right holes to resonate out of. He could definitely have decided to resonate the or and air in the same place and did but that would have made it sound really dark, and he wants to leave it on a nice, bright, resonant, happy note. So gorgeous. What a radiant little drop of joy he is. As soon as he starts singing, you can kind of let your guard down, which is a wonderful thing for a singer to do to someone, to provide comfort and contentment when you listen to him. At no point would you feel on edge. You kind of soar up to his high notes with him because you just intrinsically know that he's got it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If there are any singers that you would like to see me react to, please do let me know in the comments, as it is always my pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you so much and I cannot wait to see you next time. Mwah. Bye!